All right. How are you feeling?
Peachy.
Nice.
Hip, back, all okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Would you like more, the pass or the 69-yard punt?
69-yard punt just because of the situation. Now, if Jalen would have scored, probably the pass. He told me he was going to score, but we'll have to get him to work on that a little bit.
Were you surprised they did not come after you on that punt? On the last one?
I wasn't, because when we faked it on him, we expected him to play a little bit less aggressively. I saw the two guys in the A gap drop right before the snap, so I felt like I'd have a split second longer to get it off, and so I was able to feel a little bit more calm back there.
I'm curious, having a guy like Brett Maher with you, can you lean on him and get?
Oh yeah, he's the
Because I
best.
saw you guys, I think before the band came out, you were punting that direction when
yeah.
you made that, and that was basically the punt you
Right.
practiced right before.
Yeah, he's just got so much like experience because he played in the NFL for so long. So just all these little situations, we're just bouncing ideas off each other. Hey, how are we gonna play the wind here? Different stuff like that. And so yeah, before the last punt, actually, he came up to me and said, it's not too many times that a punter has a chance to put a dagger in a game, but he said he called the shot on that and jinxed it or whatever. But yeah, so he's just an incredible tool for us. But that's someone who we need to continue to lean on because obviously there's a lot of improvement to be made in the special teams area.
What was the situation with the wind there in the fourth quarter? Like, I mean, it was a 97-degree day. You think it's coming out of the south. And
Yeah.
You had a north
crazy.
wind at your
Yeah.
back
Yep.
in the fourth quarter. Like, did your coaches talk to you about wanting the wind in the fourth quarter, and how did you see? Because you have to be, I'm sure you have to be really aware of that as a kicker.
Yeah. So that's something we were looking at the forecast, and it was supposed to flip from like pregame. You guys know it was coming from the south, and it switched throughout the game. So that's something that Coach Rule planned. We wanted the win in the fourth quarter, and it worked out great. And it could have worked out. We might have 0 punts in the fourth quarter. Who knows? It could have gone a million different ways. But that's just something that. The more Coach Rule, Coach Foley are here, they'll be able to understand the different ways that the winds are going to blow in the stadium, and they're really starting to take advantage of that. So I thought that was huge because I felt that the Rutgers kid hit a couple touchbacks, and that was huge instead of getting the ball at the one. So just learning to play the wind here is something that's going to be a huge advantage for Nebraska moving forward.
Have you been in a game where the wind has been that much of a factor before?
Oh yeah. I mean. Last year when we played Illinois, I remember we had a kickoff that went to like the 20 and we recovered it just because it was like super windy. So yeah, you'll get 3 or 4 games a year in the Big Ten like that, but it's just important to try to hit a clean punt into the wind and see what happens. I got lucky on a roll today going into the wind, so we'll take our wins where we can, I guess. But yeah, I've been in multiple games like that since here.
Was there ever a thought, like that first punt, they got partially punt,
Yeah.
you go down, and were you just shocked or hurt, or how bad, and was there ever a thought like, oh, I can't go?
I wasn't. I've had punts blocked before, so I wouldn't say I was shocked. I felt like I had a good operation time, so we gotta have to look at the film and see, how the guy came free. But I went over to the side, and the trainers started working on me, and I took a couple swings to the net, and my back was hurting pretty good. But honestly, it's not something I ever thought about coming out because it's God has put me in this position to be able to play here, and this is my senior year. Like, there's so many things. Like, why on earth would I a little back pain? Like, who cares? To go out there and tough it out. And if I go shank it 5 yards, and then it's obviously better for them to put in Camden, then they can take me out that way. But I'm not just going to go out on my own terms. Like, that would just be not the type of person that I want to be for this team.
Okay, after last up here talking about how you are part of the defense. When you hear
that's
like
nice.
Ty Robinson and Marquise Buford saying stuff, how does that make you feel on being such a big contributor to a huge one-score win?
Yeah, I don't know. Those are nice words, but I mean, those dudes are dudes. Like, Ty's like a freak of nature, and like John, like I'm just the punter. But that's really nice of them to say that. I'm going competing against a ball, and they're competing against dudes that are trucking me if I go out there. So yeah, it's very nice.
And you guys are obviously working through some things in various areas of special teams. The last week, the effort that you gave to make several tackles, and then tonight to come back from injury and complete a fake punt, the punt at the end. Like, what do you feel about your role right now in setting an example for that whole group that's trying to get things right?
Yeah, I think just try to be the same guy every day. I talked a little bit out there with Jess about just trying to insert myself into any position that I can to help the team better themselves. I don't want to be, someone who talks too much, but when there's an opportunity for me to either lead by example or say a thing or two, I'm going to try to do that as best as I can. And so I think over the last 2 weeks, if you've seen, I've had the chance or opportunity in the game to kind of help the team through more of an example role, whether that be making tackles or coming back today when my back was hurting a bit and trying to hit good punts. So, that's something I've just tried to do throughout my career, and it's showing itself a little more now than it has maybe in the past. But just try to be the same guy every day, and the results come. And if I shank it 5 yards, just be the same guy on the next punt.
How many times did you practice that pass that you threw today? Is that something you guys rep a lot?
Oh yeah. I've been throwing since my freshman year. I feel really good in my arm, and so. It was crazy looking at the film. They don't cover the gunners past 10 yards, like ever. So we were like, we owe it to the football gods not to throw it at them. So, it was just a great route by Jay Lloyd. Actually, we were out there at halftime on our practice field because we didn't want them to see anything throwing on the grass, and I felt good. So. Yeah, we've practiced that thousands of times. Not just that route. That route was specific to this week, but we've been throwing a ton, and I've threw a couple with the quarterbacks this week just because we knew that we had a really good shot with that. So.
When was the last time you threw a pass in a game?
Never. Yeah, a lot of practice though.
You go on that little turf field, or is it the grass field you were practicing?
The grass, just because we wanted to go the same direction as the game field for the wind. Yeah.
What's the longest punt you've hit in a game?
74 versus Wisconsin.
Yep.
Definitely wasn't my best punt, but was my longest.
Anything else for Brian?
Awesome. Thanks, guys.